Go ahead, Raleigh.
A million questions, some of which have been addressed in earlier emails, but two of my concerns are the state budget, which is drastically restricting DENR in terms of the money that's available to protect citizens from environmental damages. And the second is the impact of the decision in Texas signed by the governor to regulate the chemicals that are injected into these fracking situations.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about that. The first part of the question, Dr. Taylor, I'll address that to you. Do you feel like the state will have the regulatory chops, if you will, to make sure that the environment is protected as we pursue these endeavors?
As a scientist, I look upon it as being that I want to maintain, I'm not part of the regulatory part of DENR, but I also am clearly aware of our colleagues in other divisions within the agency which have to enforce the rules. And one of the critical things comes down to where I think that from what's been said by the members of the General Assembly has been as the people's representatives that, we want it simple. We want it straightforward. I have no problem with being simple and straightforward. You do it wrong, you pay a fine. You do it right, there is no problem. But someone says, well, what's the fine ought to be? I don't want to see having the situation where they look upon as being that 15% or 18% or 30% more is just the price of doing business. So we can just do it wrong all the time and just pay the extra and pay our fine like we do with a speeding ticket and just keep on driving down the road at high speed. That's when I look at there and see, from our perspective of working with the regulated community in DENR, we want them to do the right thing, and we want to convince them that this is the right thing to do. And that's what we're looking at for this with natural gas.
Yeah, I think also, building on what Ken said, there are opportunities once again to look at what other states have done. Wyoming, for instance, has as far as I know, the strictest rules for disclosing what's in fracking fluids. Texas has a fairly strict disclosure law too. In this case, the state laws go beyond the federal regulations at this time. So we should be studying, looking around at what other states are doing, and what works the best, and applying the best of those ideas, the best of those technologies, the best of those regulations to North Carolina, so that we get it right.
I think we need full disclosure of the chemicals, I would be inclined to go with the Wyoming one rather than the Texas one. Texas one got a bit of a loophole. Let's not get into the detail. But especially in this sort of shale drilling, like in Marcellus or what we expect in the Triassic here, these fluids are pretty simple. They don't need a lot of chemicals. So disclosure should be straightforward, and there should not be much argument from the people doing it. So we should require full disclosure.